All right, let me know if you can hear me. Comment one in the chat if you can hear me. Happy Friday, y'all. It's Friday. We made it back. Welcome, 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 welcome back. Glad to see y'all. Glad to have y'all here. Give me 1 second. All right, comment in the chat and let me know that you can see me, that you can hear me, so I can go ahead and get started. I'm excited about today. Let me spotlight me for everybody. And yes to both. Thanks, Nicole. Was that Nicole or is that Jessica? Jessica. Thank you, Jessica. Welcome back. Y'all. Did you want to say something, Nicole? Okay, I just thought I had heard something. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I am recording, so the ladies that come in, we just kind of start tinkling in as we do. It is definitely Friday. I expect people to kind of fall off. However, I'm excited. We'll be talking about how you can actually believe in your ability to see your first $10,000 in a month as a coach, see your first $20,000 as a coach. Comment in the chat and let me know if you've experienced hitting your first 10K in a month or 10K as a coach, or if you've actually accelerated and achieved beyond that. Comment too if you've accelerated and achieved beyond that and you just haven't really hit your first 6 figures yet. I always like putting the yet there. So comment one in the chat if you are moving towards finally hitting 10K within your coaching business. And if you have already done that and you've accelerated beyond 20K months, then you will want to comment too. I'm excited about today's I guess day 6 of the 12 days of coaching. Shantae, I did not get the opportunity to go back and respond to your feedback, but I wanted to say thank you very much for the clarity and the clarification of just what truly 12 days of coaching is really doing for you. Just really how you have benefited from being here, being present, being committed for 12 full days. And we're only on day 6, y'all, right? I've been getting a lot of feedback from so many of you, just some amazing feedback, to be quite honest. And I'm just super thankful because it's not like I always say, helping someone find their expert voice is not about them. It's not about me. It's all about you ladies and helping you to make sure that you're in position to position yourself as experts and making sure that you're allowing yourself to be positioned as the ones that truly understand how you go about the method of allowing your clients to see results. And so it is extremely important for us during this time to know that I always say coaches really just give you the structure, the strategies, but it's really you that have the expert knowledge deep down inside of you. And just to hear your testimonial today, Shantae, I was really just like blown away when you were saying some of the answers are right there in front of you. I can tell that you've been listening to some of the training because you're saying things like, I went back to some of the old things that I was doing. I went back to my website. Now these things are clicking, and you're definitely somebody that's taking advantage of not only being here, but inside of our private membership as well, right? And so I just want to commend y'all for just being present for 12 days. And one of the last things I'll say about your testimonial, Shantae Ray, was the fact that you stated it was free, and sometimes people don't associate any value with free. That's why the test is, can you commit to yourself for 12 days, 12 days of saying, I'm going to be present, because how you finish off 2022 is going to determine how you begin to position yourself, position your value, and truly go forth in 2023. It's not about what you tried and failed in. It's all about what you still have room to achieve and how you can continue to grow. So we'll be talking basically. And if any of you have any other takeaways, or which day was your favorite, or what was like your aha moment, you're more than welcome to drop it and comment in the chat, or send me a private message, or come off mute and just kind of let me know what some of your thoughts or biggest takeaways are, because it definitely helps me to understand, not only am I being committed for you, but I am making sure that the messaging is clear and that it is aligning with the people that I am not only trying to attract, but the people and the moms and the women that I know have the potential to position themselves as experts. My program isn't just called Mom to Millionaire because I'm fascinated with the way that it sounds. I've seen coaches out here coach to millions. I've seen coaches out here leveraging millions, and sometimes I was guilty of feeling like I was just a mom for so many years, especially when my job fired me. We are not just the moms, so my tagline is, we are definitely mommy making millions. And so it's, how do we reach our millions? How do we build a life of legacy? How do we get a life of tired of being in these 9-to-5s where they're underpaying us, especially for us being Black women? How do we still find and seek balance and navigate and understand how we can have freedom to still do the things that we love and not feel like super burned out along the way? Right? That's the goal. And so I've been able to do that by being a coach. I definitely stepped over from moving myself out of retail, right? Retail was my baby, right? And I can sell you everything in my boutique. If I was to put it on, you were going to buy it, okay? Because I believed in the clothes and I believed in the quality, and I believed in and knew the women that were after the product that I had. And so you may be also coming from a product-based business. You may also be coming from industry where you're now shifting gears and saying, I really want to position myself as a coach. If you're a service-based provider and you have some type of expert knowledge, if people are always coming to you, asking you how to do something, asking you how to teach them how to do something, if they've seen some type of achievement with something that you've done and you're able to say, I can teach this and get a result, then you are in the right place. But it's all about, now, how do I really position myself? Now I'm not actually selling somebody a physical thing that they can see. Now I'm selling somebody a mindset. Now I'm selling somebody a belief. Now I'm selling someone me saying, I can help you get to this next level. And what does that look like when you're a coach that doesn't have the track record to prove what you're saying you have the capabilities of doing? Right. And so selling a service is a totally different ball game, but it's not any different from understanding your messaging. So I want to talk about 10 steps to making your first $10,000, $10,000 to $20,000 as a coach, not as a service-based provider, not anything else. We can always talk about hitting 6 figures. We can always talk about hitting 20K months. We can always talk about all these things, right? I love hearing it. Comment in the chat, drop a one if y'all love hearing people talk about that. But how do we really dissect this and bring this down to a level where we can really say, you know what, I feel like I can't even hit the 10K. How are you talking about the 100K? Can we break the milestones down? Can we break these down in bite-sized pieces so that I can eat it? Because what y'all trying to serve me is the whole pie, and the whole pie, I can't even, it's too much. My stomach cannot digest this whole thing, right? Anybody feel like to those that 10K, $20,000 or whatever as a coach sounds really good, but how do you really get it? How is it really achievable? How is it really attainable? And how do you continue to master, repeat, and continue to duplicate the process and offer your clients a true transformation in the process, which means your program ain't fluff, right? Your program just not cute on the outside. Your program really does have substance, right? What you're offering people truly does offer them not only a transformation, but you're changing people's lives. I get to change people's lives with Mom to Millionaire. I get to change people's lives. Like I just got through talking about Shantae's very testimonial. It changed my life hearing it this morning, because it allows me to understand that my program promise and the things that I'm after and the transformation that I need y'all to get after these 12 days or during these 12 days with coaching with me, that it's actually manifested. It's actually happening. Right. And so this is what I teach. Like, you're going to come to 12 full days of free coaching with me. But the goal is for you ladies to be able to pick up what I'm putting down so that you can apply it. I always think about when I didn't have the funds to invest in a coach. Everybody doesn't have my drive. Everybody doesn't have your drive. Everybody doesn't have that strong will to keep going on days where people are coming, cutting your water off, right? How did I do it? And so I'm going to give y'all 10 steps, just because, like, say it, preach it. I'm going to be giving y'all 10 steps to hitting and making your first 20K as a coach, okay? You can make this within a year. You can make this within a month. You can make this in a day. It is possible, okay? All right, y'all ready? Somebody comment ready. Well, I know that we are ready. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I see some of y'all from y'all work at home jobs and some of y'all on y'all lunch breaks. I love to see it. All right, we're ready. Instagram. Okay, perfect. All right, so number one, of course, we've been kind of talking about this all along. It's just definitely changing the belief system. I became more confident, right? I changed my belief system and I became more confident with my process. I became more confident and I stopped questioning if I really had what it takes to really take other people to the next level. Like, is my program really gonna work? Has it worked for me, right? I also stopped focusing on the fact that I had one client in the beginning, right? Many of us, we hear, that's why I don't like focusing on $100,000 or multi six figures. If you haven't made that, let's focus on the quality of people. If it's just one person, I was holding on to my one client with my dear life. You know how hard it is to get someone to truly believe in your transformation or your ability to help them through a process if you don't have the track record to show that, right? People are skeptical. People are becoming more wiser and sophisticated with how they're hiring coaches. People are becoming more sophisticated with determining and having discernment as if you really got results from your program, not just I can post this testimonial, not just I said I've helped these people, but really inside of your program, once I spend my money with you, are you going to turn into Jack and Jill or Cruella de Vil? Like, really, are you really this same person? Do you have values as a coach? Do you understand like really what it takes behind the scene? Are you really comfortable with where you are as a coach and how you're going to get people through this transformation? So changing your belief system is everything. You got to protect your peace. You have to protect your mindset, right? Your mind is just so incredible. So a man thinketh, so is he, right? So we have to start getting in our mindset that every time we have like a self-limiting belief, a belief system that we're diluting ourselves or we're saying certain words. That's why y'all always hear me say yet. I'm an advocate believer of saying yet, because if you keep saying things like I haven't done this, well, you're never going to do it because you're not positioning yourself to project that you actually can achieve it. Okay. So being comfortable with understanding you have to change your belief system. This is when we talked about building your community as a coach, why it's important to build that internal community, not just externally, but internally. We might be hanging on for like a dear life for our life, like as threads one day with threads. Okay. So then I also see this with a lot of women that come to Mom the Millionaire. I ask them what their program price is, and it's crickets, right? It's crickets. Comment in the chat and let me know what your program price is. If you're comfortable, comment in the chat and let me know what you would want your program price to be. And I want to also understand, are you pricing your programs off of your own personal beliefs to actually prove and be able to produce a transformation for your clients to actually receive, meaning they're actually getting results, meaning what they're saying they're coming to your program for, have they actually received it? Or are you pricing your programs for what you feel you are comfortable with, right? It's a lot of people, they go, ooh, I don't want to charge this much for my program. Why? Why? Comment in the chat and let me know what your program prices are, what you would want your program prices to be, because I always see a lot of moms when they're positioning themselves as experts, they get in a situation where they start getting a little squirmish. Like, I don't know if I can really make this amount of money as a coach. Now, you ain't got to go out there and just like dry the well out, but coaching is a $14 billion industry. 14.2 technically billion dollar industry. Remember, I said mom to millionaire. One program can make you a millionaire if you continue to have the right strategies to push you along through success. I'm only helping you ladies build the infrastructure, the foundation, so that when you start building your programs, when you start repeating your processes, you have a solid foundation. So when there are hiccups, everything doesn't come crumbling down, but you understand what your foundation is, right? And now you can perfect it. Some of the best coaches that I've studied, and even being a coach, it's not about changing the programs that you have. It's about perfecting the ones that you have. 150 monthly due to my industry, it should be higher. Yeah, give me annually. 99 starters, 297 and $500 VIP, right? So this is telling me you have multiple offers. This is telling me you're doing multiple things, right? And there's nothing wrong with doing multiple things, but it's also, is what you're doing tied to a larger strategy, right? So number one is I changed my belief system, right? 10 steps to making your first 20K as a coach. Number two is I started setting goals for myself as a service provider, right? Means I don't have a product to sell anymore. If I don't show up, and if I'm not consistent, if I don't have that balance of routine, if I don't have, revenue generating activities as well as non-revenue generating activities, I'm not going to make money as a coach. So now I'm throwing out everything. So I became more organized in my activities, right? I started utilizing more systems. If you feel like you're all over the place, start paying attention to where are you all over the place, right? I started focusing on systems, automations, processes, right? Systems, automations, and processes. Having systems, automations, and processes as a coach is going to help you do two things. It's going to help you to produce in your productivity, which means you are getting things, more things done, right? You're one person, but if you start implementing systems, right, now you're duplicating yourself as a person. If you're creating processes, now you're allowing other people to come in under you as a team through things like standard operating procedures and SOPs to now understand how they can actually do exactly what you're telling them to do so they can produce this result. And then automations is, if you're having something that you're doing over and over and over and over again, what can we do to help, streamline this process? Okay. This is also going to produce higher quality, right? Which means you're going to error-proof what it is that you're trying to do. You're going to begin to error-proof yourself as a coach. Right now, being error-proof may be like, what are you talking about being error-proof? Well, you want to make sure that, when you're sending an email, you're doing things like making sure the links are there. You want to make sure that when you're responding or giving feedback or telling somebody else how to do something, that there are not road bumps or mistakes made in the process, or your team. Many of us may have a virtual assistant. As you begin to scale your business, not necessarily scale it, but as you begin to bring on people that's going to help you, like virtual assistants. Virtual assistants really just not that far-fetched. Many of us can definitely, I always recommend, it is a part of my curriculum. Once you have your program and once you have gotten at least your first 5 clients, you at minimum should have a virtual assistant. Even if you can only pay this virtual assistant for a couple hours a week, start setting yourself up to stop and moving yourself from just being the mompreneur to the CEO mom. It's levels to this. Because if you aren't able to do so, then what's going to happen is you're going to be trying to do everything, and then you're not going to be able to produce those revenue generating activities you need in order for you to be successful. Okay. Number 3, I started creating strategy around my goals, right? Which means I had to create a goal to begin with. So first of all, I was trying to replace my corporate salary, which was about, well, I think it was like maybe about $4,500 a month. I was getting like paid $60,000. I hadn't really had myself on payroll with House of Divas because I had staff there, and I was ramping up to kind of remove myself, right? I had shipping, receiving. I had people on payroll there. I wasn't on payroll yet, right? So how do I replace my salary as a coach? You know, what do I really need to do? Well, the first thing I started saying, how am I going to make this money? So I started doing things like, I could sell a $99 course to 10 people. That's $1,000, almost $990. Or I can sell a $297 course to about 10 people. You know, what do I need to do? Do you know how to really break down a goal and just understand what you're trying to do to generate income? What that needs to look like? What do you need to do to actually make this goal realistic? So I started rushing my timeline with things. I had no organization. Many of us don't have organization. And so what we do is post and hurry up and throw a flyer together. Hurry up and say, this is my course. Hurry up and say, this is what's in the course. Post it on social media. Crickets. Okay, comment in the chat if that ever happened to you. You done worked all this hard time. You done went in Canva. It probably took you a whole week to create this ebook. You didn't try to sit there and you just really spent a lot of time. Comment in the chat one if this is something that you've done. You've taken the liberty and the time to create a visual for people, right? Maybe the back end of what you're offering isn't even set up, but you're creating the visual for people to pre-sale. And then you realize nobody has even bought the service that you're advertising. That's like the homeless man on the corner that's popping up asking you to buy to give them something. Right? Your clients don't want that. And so you have to know, you have to create a strategy around the goals, right? I had to create a strategy around the offers because I knew I needed money. I knew how I was going to, my bills was going to be due at the same time each month. So what is a consistent pattern of a behavior that I can follow, or a cycle, so that I can have clients more regularly and more consistently? Okay. Because if you're only doing things like posting flyers when you think about the holidays are coming, or when the lights are getting cut off and you're in a need, you're like putting out a fire, I need to make some more money. And this is really, really, really hectic when it comes to mindset, because now you're working so much harder to try to make money and prove to yourself that you can make money. And then you're starting to feel like, well, maybe I'm not really good at this. Nobody's really trusting me as their coach. But there's no strategy associated with the goal. And there's no strategy associated with the success that you're trying to see. Your strategy is your lifeline in all of this. You can do, I just feel like you can do whatever you want to do. Just do it, like Nike say, if there's a strategy. Because here's the thing, you may not succeed the first time you do it, right? The first time you do it, but if you follow through on your process, you can go back, continue to fine tune, continue to measure, continue to understand where you went wrong, and you can continue to perfect it. And then you'll start seeing yourself get better, right? So I started executing my goals, which is number 4, right? I started executing my goals. Executing the goal and creating the strategy is 2 different things. Fatima says, this is where I'm at. Panic mode. Yeah, we gonna hashtag panic mode. Hashtag panic mode. The next time you go into panic mode, which means the next time you go into panic mode as a coach, ask yourself, have I properly created the strategy that is going to align with the success that I want to see? Y'all know what panic mode is. Fatima knows what panic mode is as a coach. Throw the whole program away. Throw the whole everything away, right? So I started executing the goals. right? I started executing the strategy for the goals I wanted. I started following through, right? So that I can remain consistent and so that I can see real results. Okay. I created cycles, I created systems, I created routines, I created a rhythm to the success that I wanted to see so that I also could reduce burnout, right? I never forget that most of us are moms on here. All of us are moms on here, right? So this also helped me to remain focused as well as balanced. Now I don't feel like I'm all over the place. Mom's Millionaire. I was just talking to one of our group coaching call last night, and I was telling them, because once you understand who you're talking to, and this is kind of the eureka moment you were having too, Shantae Ray. It was like, wow, I see everything now. Like now I have the clarity. I know who my clients are. Understand my framework. I understand my purpose. Now, what do I do as far as the strategy? Because when you started thinking about, I don't want to be in panic mode, I want to be able to launch my offers, but I want to do it to where it's so comfortable, to whereas it's not overwhelming or being a burden to you, right? You should have a day where my clients, we are at minimum taking 6 to 8 weeks before we launch anything, which means, but my launch curriculum, you have certain days that you're doing certain things. This allows us as moms to have room to process the strategy so that we can execute comfortably and not rushed and not give up, right? So that was number 4. Okay, that was number 4. The 5th thing that I did that many of us are too afraid to do is niching down. I'm not going to stop saying that. Right? We have to be able to offer clarity with our offers. We have to be able to offer clarity with who we are trying to coach as coaches. We have to have clarity with the transformation that we want our clients to have within our programs. We have to have clarity on who we are trying to attract, right? So many of us are creating so many different offers. It's not aligning it's not aligning with the pathway for your clients to be successful. It's just an offer that's creating a can of worms to other problems they may or may not even have. A lot of us do these master classes or these courses, and our clients are not even finishing or getting results with the master class that we're putting out. And then there's no follow-up with what their takeaways were. It was just, I got paid for that course. It don't even matter. Right? I'm guilty of that. That was me. We have to get away from just producing in order just to make money. So ask yourself, does my offers match my ideal clients? Some of us are selling stuff that don't even match the people that we're trying to attract. Right? We're doing this and our customers are like, wait a minute, we flying and our customers are swimming. We're giving them things that they do not need. We're selling a mixed message. Okay, we don't want to sell a mixed message. We want to sell clarity and confidence, right? In our curriculum. So once I niche down, I ask myself, can my ideal client afford my rates, right? And the reason for this is, you make so much more money when you have a niche audience, a niche market, and you're differentiating yourself in the marketplace. And you can really start, when you niche down and you understand what your program promise is, and you understand how you truly add value in the marketplace as a coach, you are going to start noticing how you truly differentiate yourself in the marketplace. You're going to start noticing how you begin to look like an original. Not like anybody else copy and paste version, souped up version of you. Once you understand your areas of expertise and how you're going to drive the vehicle for your clients to reach your transformation, and because you're being authentic, I think we have a training on being authentic in your process, and because the things that you have gone through has already qualified you, you're going to start creating your own fingerprint in the coaching industry. Your clients are looking for you. Like, they don't want to go to nobody else. I think Shantae Ray said this. I don't want to go to nobody else's program. I understand this program is for me, right? So this is the thing. So we have to niche down. You will get way more clients once you do this. We hear this a lot. Like I hear this a lot. Before I niche down, I heard it a lot. But this is the thing. It is true, right? And so we have these vague audiences that really don't speak to anybody. That's why I broke down a mom. A mom could be a bunch of different people. What kind of mom? I have a parenting coach that's on my timeline. The other day, I just connected, but I thought that was so dope. I was like, wow, this is a parent. She's a parenting coach. Who knew? Who knew? Right? She's probably did like, I'm like thinking about her clients, her target audience. I'm like, she probably is what about moms who are first time moms? And, just think about this. Who would need a parenting coach? But it's so niche specific that she's dominating in that area because I've never seen that. I also saw a stepmom coach the other day. I was like, this, you know what, y'all are out here. Okay, y'all are out here, mommy millionaires, because this is where it gets to be. You are making room for you. Do not feel ashamed because you are niching down. I love ambitious moms. I like moms who have expertise. I like moms who are looking to position themselves and transition themselves in the areas of coaches, consultants, and online course creators. That's who I serve. I like moms who are looking to create high ticket coaching programs. I like moms who are ready and need structure and strategy and systems. Who are you attracting? Okay. And does your rates match your audience? Okay. So answer and ask yourself that. Okay. Then number 6, because that was number 5 on 10 steps to making your first 10K. So if you're just joining us, number 1 was changing your belief system. Number 2 was start setting goals for yourself as a service-based provider. So if you're transitioning. Number 3 is start creating a strategy around how you plan to accomplish your goal. If it's a money goal, how are you going to do that? Right? How much time do you need? Did you schedule enough time? Right? Does your spouse know? Right? Many of us as moms, we're saying, I don't ever have time to do anything. You have to create a system. Sometimes a system isn't just technology. Sometimes a system is also a structure within your household. Right? Number 4 was start executing the goals that you have for the strategy. Okay, start executing the strategy so that you can see your goals happen. Number 5 is you need to niche down. Okay. Comment in the chat if you got all of those. If you need me to repeat, comment 1 if this is good. Or you can say what you want to say, actually. Hey, Tashana. Okay, perfect. Hey, Shantae Way. All right, so number 6, I built my email list. Okay, I built my email list. I love talking about the Pursuit of Happiness. That's one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. I didn't know I loved that movie so much until the people cut my water off. I didn't know I resonated with that movie so much until I was just sitting there and I was watching the movie and I saw all of these things Will Smith was going through during his cycle and season of transformation. Let's talk about it. He had a spouse that didn't believe in him. She was just fed up. How many of us have a spouse that's giving us the third eye? Like, you know what? If I don't see no revenue come for this, you need to just go and hang this coach career up, right? His spouse was just fed up with him, right? Then, he was an entrepreneur. Even though he was an entrepreneur, he had these big old machines that didn't nobody really want, right? So, but he was consistent. And then he wanted to change his surrounding, right? He started walking down the street with all of these people who look successful. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I want to be able to be around. I know if I get this role, I know if I get this internship, it's going to change my life, right? Some of us feel like, I know if I get into this coaching program, it's going to change my life. And so when he gets the internship, if you pay attention, He's at this desk. He goes through a bunch of stuff. Just go back and watch the movie if you haven't. I can watch it over and over, to be honest. But notice he's at his desk and he's doing what we like to call sales. He's going up the list. He was supposed to start it at the bottom. He went to the top. He's like, I'm not doing what they doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. And so your email list is so important for you to build as a coach, because these are people that you need to learn how to stay connected with, right? People, you meet somebody, then what, right? So I mastered funnels, understanding funnels, and how to also follow up with my clients, right? You just remember, we're just not popping up talking to people. We're following up with people. 97% of the people that you interact with are not ready to buy what you have to offer the first time. This is why you posting on social media and getting crickets is happening, okay? So build out your email list. It's going to be extremely important. Number 7, Tashana's like, been there, is testing and repeating your process. I know I talked about it earlier, but guess what? We had to talk about it again and again and again, because we keep reinventing the wheel when we don't see success. So when we posted our flyer out there that we paid this money to get and nobody bought it, what happened is we gave up. But you're going to become more experienced as you continue to grow. You're going to become more experienced as you continue to fail, right? That's why I say fail fast, right? Seeing what works out, is great. And then also duplicating the process so that you can accelerate quicker. Okay. So like if you start off with that one client, how did you get that one client? That one client could have been, you probably had your last one client a whole year ago or at the beginning of 2022. What were you doing when you acquired that client? Think every little detail. I want you to take a piece of paper and think of every minute detail it took you to get this client. Everything. I called them on day 3. I bought the ticket. Okay, what did the ticket do? It put me in the room. I went up to this person. I wasn't afraid to network. I believed in my service. Like, think about it, not just from the actions that you took externally, but think about the actions that you are taking and the actions that you have taken internally, which means mentally. What were you doing as a coach to make sure that you were able to produce this result? Okay. All right, so we're talking about seeing what works and duplicating the process. It took me probably about 8 months when I first started off as a coach to get my first $10,000. Okay. It took me less than about 30 days after I did it the first time. When I repeated the process, I did it quicker. And then I started opening up 10K, 20K months as a coach. You see that? It took me 8 months the first time. It took me 30 days the second time. Okay. So repeating your process is just going to be key. It's going to be key. Remember the PDCA cycle that we talked about yesterday? Plan, do, check what's working, act it all out all over again. It's a cycle. Okay. Keep going. As long as you continue to process improve and understand performance process improve, you are going to continue to remain sustainable. I don't have a lot of time to get into that today, but process improvement is also going to allow you to understand when you need to change because your audience has changed or elevated, right? Maybe as I bring so many of you over through the $100,000 club, maybe I need to start focusing on how to get to multi-6 figures, right? Maybe we need to start focusing on how to get from multi-6 figures to millions. It's levels, right? But if you don't process, improve, and understand where you can perfect or what your clients are needing, you'll miss that. So that keeps you sustainable, okay? Number 8 is I borrowed other people's communities. I don't know why I broke that word down like that. I borrowed other people's communities, y'all. We have to be okay with sliding in people's DMs, when you create the strategy, like some people that I didn't even know, I was like, y'all want to go live with me for 5 days? This is what we'll be talking about. I think that you'd be great at this. I was reaching out to people. They're like, yeah. Mommy Making Millions podcast. Yeah, come on, sure. I'd love to be on your podcast. Okay. I'm building relationship, but you're able to reach more people so that you can get more traffic and exposure. You need more traffic and exposure so that you can introduce yourself to people that you can actually add value with, right? Right now, you are looking at people on your social media that's doing a couple of things. They're not sharing your post. They're not your target audience, so how you keep posting these things on social media that the people that's on your platforms do not even need. Maybe your target audience or your ideal client is somewhere else, right? So I was able to introduce myself to other people's audience, create traffic, build exposure, and build awareness around what I had to offer without ads. This is why when we talk about how to make money as a coach without having less than with having less than 10K in followers is important. I know people that have many followers and that's not doing anything. It doesn't matter about how many people you have. It's about the amount of people that you're able to reach. That's why going viral on Reels is good. It's great, but it's not the only method that you can use to attract. Reels are used to help you build exposure, to push your information out there to people. It's like a loophole. That's why if you're not doing ads and you don't understand the strategy that needs to go behind you doing Reels, it's extremely important. Like we should be really, really thinking about what we're producing on social media because it's evident if it's used appropriate, it will work for you. Social selling. So being a coach is definitely about knowing your numbers. And if you don't have enough awareness around your offer, you're never going to convert enough clients to hit your revenue goals. Okay, I have what's called a revenue calculator that tells you, right? Some of us have offers and it's not just reaching enough people. When you get to a point where you want to do ads is just going to accelerate a proven process that already works, right? But if you don't know what works and you're just spending money on ads or saying, oh, I just need ads, but you don't know or you don't have a proven process that at minimum, this ebook is generating people to build my email list, or people actually want this course, or I didn't create an ad that's going to attract my ideal client, but the thing that I'm selling and then the message that I have for my clients is a mismatch, you're wasting money. Okay, we don't want to waste money, right? Tashina says, I was overthinking that, had an idea for IG Live with moms, but overthought it. No, I my first $10,000. That's what I did. That's what I did. I didn't even have that's exactly what I did, y'all. Where do we go to build an email list on social media? You don't build your email list on social media, Jessica. You build your email list. Well, let me make sure I'm understanding the question correctly. You build your email list externally through like a third party, right? Third party. It could be anybody. It could be MailChimp, ConvertKit, Lead Pages. It's a bunch, right? You probably want to download my system toolkit. It'll kind of tell you which system you can use to build it. Let me put my website in here. I can't do two things at once, y'all. I can, but I can't. And then you do things in the form of lead generation. So what would probably help is the 6-figure strategy blueprint course, because it talks about lead generation, it talks about building your email list, and it talks about funnels, okay, and how you use social media in order to build your email list. I probably need to actually give you that link instead of just giving you this. Did this even go to anything? All right, I'll come back to you, Jessica. I promise I won't forget. All right, so number 9, make sure I'm all right. We got 15 minutes to go, y'all. Number 9 was I started selling benefits and not the features of my program, right? Focus on your program promise, which we were actually supposed to be talking about program promise today, but I looked at the schedule and it said that we were supposed to be talking about 10 steps. So I was like, oh, okay, I screwed that up. So you need to have a program promise. So stop telling people what's included in your program. Start speaking to the emotional buying needs of your customers. People don't buy just because you say it comes with 3 classes, it comes with a replay. People don't buy just because you say they're going to get group coaching. People don't buy because you say it's a Zoom call. People don't buy because you say it's going to be virtual. People buy because there's emotional need with what you have to offer, with what they're selling. People buy because they're looking at the transformation that needs to be associated. Okay, number 9 was start selling the benefits and not the features. Yep, start selling the benefits and not the features. Thank you, Tashana. Because when you start telling people how they can benefit, remember your program is not about you. How can I come to your program and benefit, right? You come to Mom to Millionaire, we're getting clarity all the way around. We are understanding who your ideal clients are. We're understanding your messages. We're understanding your expert knowledge, your expert value as a coach. We're understanding how to create your signature offer, your signature framework. We're understanding how you can launch your program with ease. We're understanding how you can develop system, structure, and strategy around hitting your first 6 figures. Would y'all come to that program? Comment in the chat, let me know. Would you buy that? Or would you like me to tell you about how if you enrolled in Mom to Millionaire, you get 3 milestone calls, you get to meet with me for 12 weeks, you get access to my full Mom to Millionaire templates, every template that's in there. You get access to the VIP curriculum, resource vault. You get to meet with me on live for 60 minutes. Which one y'all do y'all really care about? 1 or 2? Tashana's like, you already know. Would y'all like 1 or do y'all like me talking about 2? Right? Do you want to know? Because I feel like your benefits should outweigh the features. Okay, number 6 was build your email list. Thanks, Tashana. Tashana, you be on it. Okay. So stop telling people what's included in your program and start speaking to their emotional buying needs. You have to know where your clients are in their buyer's journey. You stay trying to tell them about how much the program costs. It ain't even about the cost to them. It's about the transformation. If I like y'all, like, me personally, it was a lot of coaches that I wanted to work with and I was dead broke and I didn't understand how I was going to get the money, but I knew they were the coach for me, right? You think I stopped at what I was trying to do, or do y'all think I kept going? Be honest, right? The benefits definitely paints the pictures, Nana, definitely. Because it shows that the process you're going to be able to take them through. It's like, come on over to the other side, y'all. I know, I understand all of these things. Man, it's like a eureka moment. It's like, wow, somebody created this program and it's just like, it's everything that I need. It's like, oh, y'all know I can't sing. Okay. And so when you think about it, people are more sophisticated, and wiser with their money. People don't got time to be investing in another coaching program where they're getting fluff or they can't understand, what they just purchased, right? People do not want to continue to buy surface level coaching programs that's not offering them any kind of transformation, but you didn't charge them $2,000-$3,000. This is going to mess up your client's experience with you. And if it's messing up one client's experience, it's going to hinder your track record to acquire additional clients in the future. Here's how. When your program works and when people are receiving transformation and when people are actually receiving results from working with you, what will then happen is people don't mind bragging on who you are and how you've helped them. People don't mind bragging, saying, yo, this is my coach. Like, she took hands down. Like, man, like her program is it. Like, we did this. Like, man, wow, right? You go further that way. then you had a really bad experience with someone. You can't use them as a client testimonial. You can't use them as a referral. You can't show people their process so people can see somebody else actually did it. And so this hinders your growth because you have to keep trying to put people in your program, and you don't really have the experience, the value. You're not really caring about the transformation. You're only caring about the quick write down money that you're making. So after they get in your program and they paid you, you don't really care how the service is going for them. You don't care if they get transformation or not. Okay. So people are more sophisticated. So this is going to mess up your money for sure. And if you think that it's not, I've seen probably a group, Facebook group with probably over 30,000 women in right now that do not like a certain coach. That's a lot of women. That's a whole lot of women. I don't want that. I want 30,000 women talking about, wow, that she the real deal Holyfield. Like, you want your clients to hype you up like that because you really are. Okay. Y'all ready for number 10? I know we got about 9 minutes for y'all lunch and learn. Comment 10 if you're ready for number 10. Okay, perfect. Somebody on Instagram gave me a 10. Number 10 is Tashana got 20. You got to love Tashana. I raised my rates. I raised my rates. As my value increased, so did my rates. You know, as I became more knowledgeable, as I invested in myself, guess what? My rates increased because now I'm adding additional value on the way I deliver so that you as a coach can continue to reach your potential quicker, right? You can navigate through the process quicker, right? Now I'm able to bring on people like virtual assistants so that your emails are answered quicker, so that we can make sure that if we're trying to get training material out, you have it quicker, so that if I need to have someone to come in and create something on the back end of my program, or if I need to have someone to manage certain things, it flows, right? Think about your job, right? This is your job. Think about you working your 9 to 5, right? Every year at my annual review, my manager, coaches, if they were good, right? She would ask me or say, right at the beginning or the end of the year, annual reviews are usually done at the end of the year. Track everything you have done and put that on your annual review. This is going to be kept in consideration when we are trying to see where you meet as far as metrics in your raise. As a coach, you can decide that your price can go up when you're ready for your price to go up. But you have to be able to make sure that you're adding that value. And you have to be able to make sure that you can produce that result. And you have to be able to make sure that you can articulate the value. Okay. It's so much harder to sell $7, $19, $47, $97, $197 courses, ebooks, than it is to sell a high ticket course. I don't know why. I don't know if people are associating value with price. You know, people don't just want to buy a $97 ebook or masterclass anymore because it's being done so much. People would much rather have a program, a curriculum, a structure, a streamline, a process that helps them through so that they can get to where they're trying to go. So it's harder to sell all of those multiple different items versus just having one program. And think about all of the time that it's taking you to sit there and create all of these different offers. Now, if you have these things and you're just adding them as value inside of your program, that's great. But I also understood my numbers. We talked about learning your numbers. So securing clients was my superpower and how I made money. I wasn't looking to sell 10 $197 offers to make $1,970, right? I was now looking at 5 clients at $2,000 to secure $10,000, right? Which one sounds better? I done went after 10 people to get $1,900. Or I done went after 5 people and I done got $10,000. Y'all tell me which one would y'all prefer? Let me know. You want the 197 or you want the 2K offer? 10K for 200, Alex, says Tashana. It's a difference. It's really a difference. And it's harder to get those 197 people. So you're thinking about the numbers and the people and how you're going to acquire them. So when you start focusing on that, look how easy, 5 people, $10,000. What do I need to do to get 5 people inside my program? What do I need to do? So that goes back up to, I think, like number 3 and 4, because it's associated with the goal, it's associated with the strategy, and it's associated with the execution. So 2, 3, and 4. So number 10 goes right. Take a little arrow. If I was taking notes, I would take an arrow from number 10 and highlight 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Questions. Questions. What was number 10? The price just went up. The price is the price. Number 10 was I raised my rates. As my value increased, so did my rates. Okay. You want people to associate you with premium. You want people to associate you with quality, right? You want to be associated that way. And in order for you to be associated that way, you have to be able to have the time, energy, effort, and the bandwidth in order to sustain. So if you're doing all of these other things that's not associated with the strategy, it's leaving you everywhere. Okay, so we focus on 5, not 10. Okay, questions?
I got one. So this what blew my mind yesterday when you were talking about like breaking down moms, and you were saying that eventually the audience of women that you talk to is basically the woman like you, right? So like for me, I've done a whole lot, right? So I done helped women write their books. I done helped women recover from trauma, like all the many facets of me. But it seemed like the woman that's attracted to me, like I'm not interested in helping that woman, like I'm still there. So when you said you would try something and start over, like that's where I feel like I'm at. And because I haven't hit the 6 figures yet, it's like the woman that I really, really want to help, I don't really have the receipts to help her yet. So what do you do in the meantime when you really trying to niche down? Because right now I'm talking to the overwhelmed mom, because I've been her, and helping putting those balance strategies in place. But I'm passionate about the mom that's undervalued, right? That just don't even know, like don't really know who she is or her identity. So like how do you niche down in there? Because I thought that was niche, but clearly that's still all over the place. So how do you niche down and still feel fulfilled with the people that are coming to you? Does that make sense? You muted.
I figured I was muted. I was like, no, let me hold on before I start coming out the gate with what I want to say. It definitely does make sense. So I think that what I had to understand is what problem have I solved for this person already? Sometimes the person that you've solved the problem for is already you. If that person is not you, but you stated that you don't have the receipts to prove it, but you know you have the expertise to do it because you're looking at who you are becoming. You know it's on your heart. Then what you want to continuously do is position yourself as the expert. However, you need to think about the transformation that you're trying to achieve with the women inside of your program. Like, is it really measurable, right? If I'm saying I'm overwhelmed and they get into your program, how are you measuring their results so that they can see I'm no longer overwhelmed? Because being overwhelmed is still very, like you stated, it's still very, very vague, because Mom to Millionaire is for women that's can be overwhelmed. That's why I say with ease at the end, you know, because starting something new anything can be overwhelming. It's like, what's overwhelming you? Is it the kids overwhelming you? Is it the job overwhelming you? Is it your life being overwhelmed? Are you a life coach? You know, like, are you helping moms get back to them? Do you help moms as far as mindset? When you talk about their value, it's like, what is the transformation that you're truly trying to articulate to your clients so that they can leave better than how they were before they even got to your program?
See, girl, you the one the Lord chose, because I didn't even think about that. That's good, Marquita.
Yeah, so like, y'all know, I told y'all if we was inside my course, I'd be sitting there with my boards and stuff, and I'm very visual, y'all. I'd be sitting there training. I just told my husband, I said, I need a little iPad because I have this board, but I don't mind using the board. But I was looking at the iPad at Apple, and I was like, oh, okay, we got to get some stuff because I like being able to show you, you know. So these are the things that I talk about, like really breaking it down. Like, y'all are really getting so much in 10 days. It's just kind of going to be like up to 12, not 10, 12 days. It's going to be up to you to really take this information and then process it. Now, it's doable without having continued support along the way, excuse me. But in Mom to Millionaire, I still take you back. Like, this is definitely not the Mom to Millionaire curriculum, but I still take you back. And so you have these things like worksheets that you're able to clearly see something. I just wish I'm gonna probably invite some of the people that have been inside of the Mom to Millionaire program, because I was on a call yesterday and one of my clients is like, I printed this out. Like, this is actually my Mom to Millionaire curriculum. She's like, I printed this out. And so inside of the Mom to Millionaire curriculum, it's this attracting your ideal client Excel spreadsheet. She didn't print it out. The paper is at least about this long. She's like, I taped it together and everything. And sometimes people like seeing the visual. They like seeing the breakdown. They really like seeing the piece by piece method instead of just like, And so when you're thinking about it, I have a worksheet in there that thinks and talks about the transformation. And I don't know if you took the Pivot and Profit 5-day challenge, but it's in there also. So if you have access to that course, it's a map inside of there. It talks about the pain, the pleasure. It talks about, you know, every attribute of the person. It really breaks the person down and thinks about the person mentally, right? More mentally than it is about demographics. Okay, did that answer your question?
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect. Any other questions, my fellow mommy millionaires? And it's a Good Friday. Y'all have been hanging in with me on this Good Friday. I have been, we are halfway through, y'all. We are halfway through this. Has it gotten easier for y'all? Let me know. Let me know. Who's trying to look? I'm ready for the planning session. Okay. This has been amazing again. Thanks. All right. Thanks, Nicole. If somebody could take our boomerang for today. You know, I did not take a boomerang for yesterday. I just did not. Jessica, I'm supposed to be getting you a link too, right? The coach's system toolkit. I'll make sure I get you the link. Or no, okay, I know what you're supposed to be getting. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that you have this course or just access to it. Because it'll kind of break down systems and funnels and how to go about building your email list. All right. Did somebody take out Boomerang? I didn't even look.